So you played around with this. Yay. Now what I want to do is we're not going to yet go to these projects. Before we go to a project, it's actually a good idea to set up the brand. I kind of mentioned it already earlier, but basically what the brand will do is um, it'll allow you to it'll help you format any of your projects because basically it will save what your logo is. It will save what the what the logo is, what your colors are, what your default fonts are, and it will apply those to any of these projects that you make. Those will be also interpreted, and which is really great because it makes sure that you keep everything that you create on brand. You'll notice that most of the projects are directed towards basically social media, which I think is a really smart thing for them to do. I'm not particularly big into social media, but obviously that's a big move that people are currently using in order to promote their products and services and businesses. Okay, so back to brands. So what we're going to do is you can delete anyone that you want up here, and you can obviously also edit them. We're going to create a new brand. So this is one of those things where I think you can only create one brand, or you can't create any brands if you're not logged in. Just so you are aware. I can't remember. I think you get one brand. Hopefully, I'll be able to do more than one. What we could do is upload a logo if we want. So we'll just do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use this guy. All right. And then we can also pick a color. And then, so what it'll do, mine didn't do this by default. Oh no, it did right here. So it'll actually show you the colors that are in the logo in general. I guess it just chooses 3. I'm just going to push this a little bit more orange, and then I'll hit save. So that'll be my general color, and it'll show you here too, kind of a preview of what it's going to look like. And then I'll let you choose a font. Then you hit font, and you can see there's a bunch of fonts in here. And they break them up by these categories. Now, the nice thing is here, this might feel limiting, but this is actually the weakness of this that I was making up is actually also its strength because it's only giving you this many options. These are modern, contemporary text typefaces that people are using. So you know that these are, in style, right? So we know that these will look good. So I'm gonna let's do this one because I feel like rounded makes sense with what my thing is. And then we'll hit next. Then it's going to want a brand name, and then we'll just say Cone, right? Let's do lowercase. I think that looks better. Cone, and create my brand, and then it's going to create a brand for you. Yay! Got it. Thanks. And so now you can see we have this brand, and I can use this for pretty much anything. So oops, I don't want to do that. I clicked on edit brand. Okay, yeah. All right, so we can use this brand. Obviously, you could share. I didn't share mine, but you could share your brand with others as well, which is super nice. Now, if for some reason you don't have the color, we could skip this step, and we could try the logo maker instead. So that might be something you might want to try for this. So if you already have a brand or you want to make it something else, you can use that and upload it. But if you don't want to do that, what we could do is use that. So we're just going to go over here and we're going to go to logo. You see it kind of looks like brand. I know I said I wasn't doing the projects yet. And then it'll have all these pre-made ones over here. Okay. Now, obviously, this is, again, if you use anything that's like really close to this, it's not going to be as good, but it's a start. And they all look very professional. This is actually one of those things, too, that you will find that there are currently jobs in. So they are hiring people to create, they're hiring graphic designers to create all these, and then they upload them here, and then people can, have them. So I'm just going to grab one that I think looks okay. So I don't know. I mean, they all look pretty good, to be honest. I don't see any major issues with any of these. So let's do, this one looks fun. I'm going to grab that one. Okay. Now that we have this up here, what you're going to see is that if we go to, not that one. Get out of here, Creative Cloud. We can then select the different elements, and then it will give us the options for these. So you can see this is actually a group, and I can ungroup it. This graphic is, I can change the color of it, and all of that. So if I click on that, I can choose my Teach Me Cone color palette. This is the current color palette suggested, so I can be like, I want it to be that color. You will also notice that you can see the layering down here. So all the layers here are visible. So you might be like, oh, I want to change this graphic, right? So you can grab this. I can replace, you can add it. You can add text, add photos, add shapes, different elements. over here as well. So if I go to design assets, it's going to give you a bunch of these different design options here. So like here's one right here. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm going to add that. I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to hit delete. That will get rid of it. I will take this guy. I'm going to stick this in here just because it's a cone. I'm going to scale it down a little bit. We'll put it here. Now you can see the color is not very good, right? It's also at the top, which is fine. But with it selected, I can go down to filters and then you'll see duotone. And I could choose, I mean, really any one of these is fine. Let's just do this one. And I'm just going to change the color. So I'll do this. I'm going to start with, we'll say this is the darker color, right? So this, I'm just going to pull it down, make it like a burnt orange. I'm going to click on this one. And then I'll do the lighter orange, right? Or I'll make sure it's my orange. Click on that. And voila, now it's that color. Now this, I'm going to need to ungroup so I can get to its elements. Let's see. Okay, now we have this, and you see it says S whatever T, and I'm just going to write, come on, we'll write cone. Now it says cone in there, and we'll just say, come on. There we go. We'll write teach me, right? And then we'll grab, make sure I grab it here, and then it says Roland since whatever, you know, a very bad teacher. Looks great, right? And you can see we have basically a logo. And I can change this, and I can be like, oh, I want this to be a different color. Although, let's see. Let me go back here, and then we'll just take it and make it like a darker brown so it matches a little better. I'll take this color here, and I'm going to make that the same as my color, just so that it matches my brand a little bit better. But like I said, if you wanted to add elements, so if you want to remove them, you just click on hit delete. If you want to add elements, like let's say I want to add another piece of text, I can literally just click on text over here, and we'll just, it has these pre-made ones. If you click one of these, it'll just slap them on in here. So I'll do you got this, right? I don't actually want it, but just so you see it's there, I'm going to delete that. Come on. There we go. Delete that. And I'm just going to add text. That's just going to put just generic text, just like that. And then I'm just going to kind of shrink this down. And then we'll just put, yo, doesn't really, oh, come on. Yo, YOLO, right? All you kids are saying that these days. I don't think anyone says anymore. Anyway, so you can see that looks great. So other things you can do too. So you can see there's backgrounds. Now what you're gonna notice is there's a couple different options. So let's say I take this will be my background, and I'm just gonna grab this. There's gonna be two options. It'll say pin to background or move freely. If we say pin to background, what's gonna do is it's more or less gonna it's gonna stick it onto the back, and you can't move it around. Like it's just on the background layer. See how it looks a little bit different? If you do move freely, so move freely, you can move it around like it's a picture. And then I would just take this, put this on the bottom, and then you could scale it. But if you know it's just going to be straight up your background, you can do that. So let me delete that. Let me show you something. So let's say if we pin to background, you still have options. If I select it, you can see I can still rotate this. Like watch, it's kind of interesting. It will scale so that it always fits in the image, which is kind of neat. And you could flip it and do, the colors and all that. So you're not super limited if you decide to, oops. Let me undo a little bit here. There's undo up here, but I'm just hitting Control Z and that works fine. Let's get rid of you. Okay. So we'll say that looks good. You can see right now it says saving. I'm going to wait till it says saved. And then once it's saved, we will back up. Okay, so now it's saved. So now I'm just going to go back to home. And now if I go to brands, I can create a brand. And, oh, I didn't save it. Let me see. I should have downloaded it. I thought it would give me the option to skip this step, try our logo maker. I just did that. Oh, you don't want to do this. So you can do this logo maker and you type in stuff, and then it gives you a whole bunch of options that you can choose, but it's way more limited. We're not going to do that. So basically, I'd have to go to the projects and actually download this. So click on download. I'll save it. Okay, there it is right there. Then go to my brands, create a brand, then I'll upload it. I thought it would just be linked, but I guess not. Where did it? Oh, it went to downloads. There you go. Open. Voila. Pick my color. Right. We'll save. That's fine. I don't know. That's not the right thing anyway. This. And voila. Now we've got our brand. We'll just say, Conetastic. I don't know. Create my brand. Fabulous. Okay. And now we have a brand, which looks pretty okay. So now from here, we can do some other options as well. So what you'll see is that on the colors here, I can go to edit, and then we can choose whatever primary colors and replace it. We can change the font. You're going to notice that it'll actually give you a light, medium, and dark look. So you know how like you go to websites and they'll have it like dark mode or light mode, or some programs have that as well. It gives you that. So it's not going to mean much right now, but when we go to do our websites and such, you will actually notice that that the you can choose one of those options. Right now, I chose red. I should have chose this color because I didn't actually change it, but that's what it will do. So there's a nicety there as well. So you'll have that as an option when you go to make the web page. Okay. What I would like you to do to submit to me is maybe invite. I'm going to get barraged by people. Let's not do it that way. Why don't you just do this? Give me the download your logo and then just submit your logo as the project. Okay. And then next week, what we're going to do is we are going to make a web page. Okay. Just to kind of continue on with what we were doing. Feel free to make any of these other elements if you want to try and play around with them this time. There's lots of different options here. You can see it's all very automated, very easy to use. It's a useful tool, but I just want you to be aware that this, people are going to be using this probably pretty soon. They actually just came out with this a couple months ago. They used to have a thing called Adobe Spark, and now they got rid of Adobe Spark and they created this Creative Cloud Express, and it's basically a whole suite of tools. It's also a mobile app, by the way. I have not played around with the mobile app at all, so you can try downloading and installing that. But this is kind of where it's going. So yeah, so give me your logo. Just submit that for this week's thing. And like I said, just play around with it. And then next week we'll do a thing. I just want to make this a really quick, kind of easy lab. I don't want to stress you guys out. Just want you to watch these videos, see what the things are, play with it. And then next week we'll do the website, and that will be super easy. You'll see it's the same as what we did here. You just kind of plop things in. It's very straightforward. All right, so good luck. If you have any questions, let me know. All right. See ya.